Alright guys, so as you guys know, my name's Stephen Kelly. I'm a senior at Calvert Hall. So just kind of dive into my story a little bit. As many of you probably know, I've grown up in a Christian home. I have my wonderful mom, Gail, who's, where is she, right there, who started this team, CBS, and then my dad, who's back there, who's been a very devout Christian in his life as well. And they've really kind of led me as, since I was born, going to Bible studies, going to church, everything like that. I've been in the Word ever since I was little, so I've, had that understanding of what the Christian life is like. It was when I was 9 years old. I was at Lake Placid. My dad was playing in the tournament down there. He was actually playing for FCA lacrosse. And just kind of being around them, being around what they were talking about. I just remember one night down there, I came up to my dad and just said, I want to receive Christ in my life. I was young, I didn't really understand it too much, but I remember praying a prayer with him down there, and then he of course, took a Bible out, wrote down the date to remember it. But again, I was only 9. I didn't fully understand what it meant to have a full relationship with Christ. I just thought, my parents are doing it, I'm young, looks pretty cool, I'll do it. Anyway, as kind of my life went on, the next kind of powerful moment I had in my life was at Gettysburg Lacrosse Camp. As a kid, I went there a lot. It's an FCA lacrosse camp, and those camps were also always a great time. Great guys down there leading that, who were all followers of Christ, were great influences on my life. But it was the last night, a guy by the name of Dan Britton was speaking. For those of you who don't know who Dan Britton is, he's a major leader in FCA, absolutely great speaker, definitely has been very impactful in my life. But I remember that night, I still remember him saying, he did this analogy of these Oreos and kind of set up these 3 chairs, and I'm not going to go into too much detail about what he said, but for some reason it really hit me on a deeper level, and it was just a powerful night that night. They had a thing called open mic, and there was a lot of kids coming up to the mic, sharing things, weeping. It was pretty powerful. Anyway, after that, we kind of went into huddles, which is what you do with FCA. And I remember I was, a bunch of 12-year-old kids, some of my best buddies, never even really knew what the Christian life was about. For some reason, we were just all weeping together, and it was pretty powerful. I remember going to my dad that night, telling him how, what I went through, what I felt, and saying I, wanted to get into the Bible, and he kind of set me up on a plan, started me off reading some of the Gospels, going into the New Testament, and I kind of stayed on that plan for a while. I enjoyed it a lot, but as my life went on, high school hit, and as you guys many of you, at least, as many of you know, high school is a whole nother level of temptation, a whole nother level of things you're going to see, as I've gone through high school, those temptations, some have gotten the best of me, I'm not going to lie, but it's things like Teen CBS, this Bible study, coming here every Thursday, having leaders like Mr. Stewart, Mr. Tony, Uncle Chuck, Mr. Larry, being with my peers, getting into the Word have been such a big help. And then also FCA, the one that really brought me in when I was 9, part of the FCA lacrosse experience. I still remember being part of the first FCA youth team and how impactful that's been on my life through my whole life. I've played with teams now in Lake Placid and Vail. And especially playing the game of lacrosse really helps me, I feel, to connect to God and give glory to God. To play a game that I love is so important to me, and that's something that's a constant reminder for when I am falling away. Something like an FCA, like a Teen CBS, get me back on track. Now, kind of taking you to some of the present, the past 6 months have been pretty crazy for my life. I've probably had some of the most highs in my life, but I've probably had some of the most lows. Highs, I was able to win an MIA championship, go on to win a world championship. Some things I never could have imagined that most people would think, that's ultimate happiness right there, was having a great time in the summer, had a girlfriend, I was living life. To about a month ago, breaking down in front of my dad on my knees, weeping in front of him. And what I kind of learned through that is, you're going to experience those highs. They might seem like this is it, this is awesome, but there's nothing like the peace you're going to get or the happiness you're going to get with God in your life. And that's something that I really came to realize at that moment. And, I'd like to, say that my life's a journey and I still have a lot to go, in my life. God has a certain plan for me. And kind of looking forward, I'm going to UNC next year, which I'm very blessed to be going there. A lot of people, when, they're going to college, they want to look for the right people to surround themselves around. Want to get into the right Bible study, look for the right people. Luckily for me, I have a brother there, I have a cousin there. My brother's been doing some pretty amazing things down there. Basically the spiritual leader of that UNC lacrosse team. So I'm excited to get down there to, be with him, be with my cousin, and just keep growing in my faith. And he's part of an awesome church down there, so, I'm excited as going forward with this journey, that, God has a certain plan for me. I'm going there for a reason, and, I'm going to trust him in all things I do. Quick verse here to end it. I was looking a couple verses up, but for some reason this one just really hit me when I was looking them up earlier today. It's 2 Corinthians 4, 16 through 18. It says, "Therefore we do not lose heart. Though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. So we fix our eyes on not what is seen, but on what is unseen. Since what is seen is temporary, what is unseen is eternal." And why I kind of like this, I think it kind of, shows what a journey is like. I've seen the temporary things. I've experienced those temporary joys, but the unseen is what, you ultimately want to strive for, and that's living a life with God. So, I think that verse was kind of a good way to explain how this faith walk is a journey, and, going forward, I'm just going to trust in him that he has a plan for me, and, that's pretty much my story, so.